Hello and welcome back to another episode of You Want to Do What? Today we've got Kevin Graham on, and he is part of the social media team at Manscaped. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how are we doing? Excited to
I'm
be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you on. I think me and Tom were just talking actually before you jumped on. It's one of those brands, Manscaped, that I think we've all seen somewhere. Tom was saying he saw a lot of advertising on YouTube, right, Tom?
Yeah, I remember it was maybe about a year ago. You guys were advertising a lot on YouTube, and literally every YouTube video I clicked on, the YouTuber was advertising your product. So I was like, I couldn't get away from you guys. But you put your name on the map, so well done, I suppose.
Yeah, that's one of those things where once you see one ad, I think you're gonna see a lot, but it definitely works.
Kevin, do you want to jump straight in and tell everyone a bit about what you do?
Yeah, I've been in the social media space for around 6-7 years now, and so I work on the organic side, and specifically what I do is I help build communities, and that's through creating and posting content on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then I'm basically responding to all those comments too and building communities up for brands. And right now it's Manscaped.
So how did this all start for you then? How did you get into the world of social media?
So it was back in 2017, 2018, and I was just getting into college, and my friends always needed help running their socials for like their little brands that they would run, and little small businesses, and I was always just like good at running them. And over time I realized I was like, you know what, I can kind of make a career out of this, because I was a film production student, but I just didn't really see too much money in it, and I didn't want to move to LA. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to find something else out. And social media just always like stuck out to me.
So, you made this decision you were going to go into it. How did you actually get your start in the industry?
So in the actual industry, it was a small brewery in San Diego, and I applied to them, got the job, and I started running all their socials. And I knew I had to do that to kind of buff up my resume to try and get into a bigger company like Manscaped. And basically, after a year of working for them, it kind of flipped around like how a lot of the breweries in San Diego did their marketing, because I pushed for a lot of video content, which wasn't happening at the time. And then that really took off, and we had just great engagement for like a year. And then I applied to Manscaped, which was a very, I would say, unique way to get the job. But I cold emailed the head of social, or director, Tyler, and I sent him a video of me Rick and Mortying like a TikTok trend to my resume. So my email was I said first interview, kind of nervous, and then I like just threw a little link and said excited to chat with you. And he loved it, the team loved it, and that brought me in for the interview. But yeah, it was kind of it's been a crazy couple of years, and now I've been pulled into the Manscaped world.
Very cool. I love that. That's how you got that job. We always talk on here about, a CV really isn't good enough nowadays, and just going above and beyond really helps you to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to think, like, I think they said there was 150, 200 applicants, and
Wow.
like I know going in there's going to be a lot. So it's like they're sifting through resumes all day. So like, how do you make it pop? So another thing I did is I took my resume and I used the brand colors of Manscaped, so it stuck out to them. And like even like my like little sections were like, instead of using like about, it would be like a play on the word of like something at Manscaped. Like my skill section was all the trimmings, and like it's just like finding little ways to show that you're putting in extra effort can
Yeah.
go a long way when you're trying to get a job, because they want to see people that are willing to put in extra work for their company. So you just kind of have to prove it to them.
100%. And why did you go down the route of organic versus paid?
I really just, to be fair, I don't have experience in paid, and I I just think paid is very salesy, and I'm just not like on the salesy end of things. I love seeing like transactions go through, and like at the end of the day, my job is to help push sales. But the organic side is just like so much more community interaction, and you're really getting the experience to like chat hand in hand with like your target audience. So I love that idea of like you have to be super creative with how much content is being pushed out. And it's just fun, to be honest. I have a lot of fun, which I think is really lucky that like I love what I do.
No, yeah, you make a great point. And what's your opinion, having now worked in this industry, on maybe university degrees in social media versus going straight into industry? Have you got a view on that?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the person. I personally, like I said, I had a film degree. I have no background in marketing. I don't even think I've ever read a marketing book. I just think, especially like in social, like it's just so much about understanding people, and that often gets overlooked. So people think about all the business stuff of marketing. Like, to be fair, I really don't even know a lot of like the acronyms that people shout at me. They'll like DM me things. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what the acronym stands for. But I know how to garner attention online. And so I think a lot of it honestly is like psychology. And like, so I've read a lot of psychology books in my day, and just if you can start understanding how people do things and why, you're going to start understanding that target audience better. And once you understand your target audience better, then you're going to be able to create content around them and stuff that they like. So in terms of like if it's worth it or not, I guess it does depend on the person. I would just say, like, if you are going to university, I would just network so freaking hard with anyone else who's in marketing, because I felt this with LinkedIn, but I've networked with so many marketers now that like I have this whole community with me of like social media managers that we all like help each other out. We work on collaborations together. So like, there's actually kid Aiden who reached out to me, and he's in his first year of college, and he reached out and was asking questions, and like that's what you should be doing, like network. But it's really, I think it depends on the person. Some people like that structure of college, and then there's like people like me that like, I think nowadays there's social proof of like running a account that like has value, because like instead of like just a resume, it's like, okay, well now it's going to be like, okay, well I ran the Manscaped account and here's the results, and you just show the data, and like a company can make a decision based on that.
Marketing over the years, maybe 10, 20 years ago, it was an advert on TV and a billboard. Whereas like with the presence of social media, it's become quite an intense, quite a fast-paced industry. What's it like being inside that quite fast industry?
It's honestly insane. It moves so quickly. And now, like with social, there's so many different trends that move quickly. And like the best brands they are adaptable, move quick, and put a lot of budget into things because they understand the importance of marketing, especially on the organic side. Because I think I've realized now that like I grew up getting ads shoved in my face more so than like my parents' generation. Like it was always just like Instagram ads. Now it's Facebook ads, like TikTok ads. People are tired of being sold to. And so now, like, I think the brands that are really winning are building up organic communities where they're winning over trust, over just like saying, hey, buy this. Cause like Gen Z honestly does not care to just get straight up sold to. They want you to, win them over basically. So, but yeah, it's a crazy industry to be in. There's so much going on, and it's so new in terms of you have influencer marketing. Now there's like a lot of the podcast stuff that people are doing, so podcast marketing. But it's yeah, to be fair, it's a pretty crazy and wild time. Yeah, because it's still new. Like a lot of this stuff, we still don't know exactly, like what's like it's gonna be like in the future, because things are moving so quickly. But
yeah, not just that. The actual platforms, how quickly do they change? TikTok wasn't a thing 3 years ago, was it? Snapchat was the big thing, and then all of a sudden one dies, the other is born almost.
Yep, totally.
So what personality traits do you think are critical for someone in your position to really thrive in this industry?
In marketing in general, or like social media?
Both. Well, what both?
Sure. Um, with social, you really have to. I mean, anyone working as like social media manager, you have to be adaptable. You have to understand that like you're the voice of the brand, but like when people say things to you, they're saying it's the brand and not you. Because like honestly, you can hear some pretty nasty things online, especially working on the Manscaped account, and you just have to be able to understand that like it's not it's not personal towards you. I know what the best personality word to describe that is,
Mhm.
but you just have to really be able to like adapt. I just think that's the biggest thing, because so many things just keep changing every day. And like it's like, okay, we're doing this project, but then the platform completely switches how its algorithms going, how like what copy works, what doesn't. So um yeah, I think the biggest thing is just understanding how to adapt, and just being open to like new ideas,
Mm.
because once something stops working and it gets stale online, you have to find creative ways to get in front of people.
So where do you go? We're talking about it changing so regularly. Where do you go? What do you read to keep up to date? I mean, how are you sort of following what's going on in the industry?
um so I would say it kind of ties back to like that networking thing, where I have a lot of social media manager friends. Excuse me. Oof. I have a lot of social media manager friends, and that's where like we kind of talk to each other and see what's going on. Like, but it's like, hey, like I feel like my Twitter like has not been like hitting the people it used to like this whole week, and they're like, yeah, I've been feeling that too. So maybe we know something's up with like um, Twitter might be like tweaking like
Hmm.
how they're doing things, and that's affecting our reach. But yeah, it's being able to have people that you can ask and see what's going on with their stuff as well, what's working, what's not working. And then like I just think like I'm on Twitter. I usually check Twitter in the morning a lot, and I can kind of tell what's going on. I cycle through the trends. But honestly, like I don't read any newsletters besides Tommy Clark. He's Triple Whale, and he came out with a good newsletter that I've been reading. He's good at diving deep into like what's going on with social, and he's a good follow on Twitter as well.
Hmm.
But other than that, man, like I really just like I feel like I'm in the trenches every day of just
Hmm.
like creating, and I when you're really like on the socials every day, you get a good pulse for like what's going on.
Yeah, no, sure. I think we've kind of touched on this as well, bit, at the beginning, was almost LinkedIn. We've been pushing LinkedIn for everyone listening to our show. It's such a great platform to meet people and also
Mhm.
discuss and network. Have you found that with LinkedIn, and would you suggest to people that they use it as a tool?
I am like the biggest proponent for LinkedIn. I think it is huge. There's organic reach, which you always want when you're starting out, or whatever you're trying to do, get a job, build your personal brand, which I think is so important for everyone.
Mm.
Build a brand on the side or build your personal brand, because it's kind of going to be the new way that we apply for jobs and search for things. Like people are going to look at your status on your account, see what you've done, and if you build your personal brand, you build authority, and when you have authority, you have leverage.
Mm.
So like in my case, I think I started posting 3 months ago, every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and I went from a little under 1,000 followers to now at 7,950.
Wow.
So I've gained like 8,500 people, and it went from me like before Manscaped, and before I was like posting on LinkedIn, I was searching for jobs, and I remember applying to 38 jobs, or no, it's more than 38, but I had 38 interviews, and I didn't land any of them. And then now I have people coming to me every day in the DMs asking me to work for them or
Mm.
freelance, and it's about building leverage and flipping the script of now people will come to me because I've built authority by posting every day and showing up. So
It's a
I
game
think
changer, isn't it?
yeah, and the amount of people I've met, like I have like friends online through LinkedIn that like I text, we hop on video chats. There's just like LinkedIn is like what Facebook wanted to be, but it's actually working because the people that are coming on LinkedIn are actually there to network. And like now you don't have to do these networking events in person as much. Like you can just hop on LinkedIn, chat with people. And like when I first started out, I felt like I didn't have like a circle of people. So like I felt like I was just like alone in a way of like what I was doing and like my mindset on things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I kept posting the content that I liked, I started finding all these people that are similar to me. And so you can build up your own community of like-minded people. And it really does change the game. So yeah, I'm right there with you that I think LinkedIn is just huge.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't get all the trolls. People aren't hiding behind that anonymity on the LinkedIn, are they? So it's actually quite professional on the platform.
Yeah, totally. And you're still always going to get some trolls here and there, but as a social media manager, I'm a professional troll. So I actually just troll people right back on. If you watch my LinkedIn stuff, like anyone that like says like dumb stuff in my comments, I just act super dumb back to them. So if they're gonna waste my time, I'm gonna waste theirs.
Very true. So what's the number one positive you've taken from working in social media?
Working in social, really, I would say, I think it just helps you understand that like it always goes back to community building. Like it really teaches you the importance of like if you keep your like voice on brand and you build out a good strategy, you really can grow a community quickly. And it just you feel the pulse of like, for example, our Twitter, when I started it, when I like hopped on, we were maybe getting like 3 or 4 comments, but I started responding every day to all the comments. I started pushing tweets more, and I always responded to everyone. And then now we get like 50 responses on our Twitter, and feeling that difference of like when I post, we get like instant like 20 likes from like before when we were getting like 5, and like now posts are going, it was 5 likes before, now like the average is like 80 to 100. And that's all because we just kept building community every day. So you just really start getting an understanding of people and like how to market to them.
On the flip side of that, though, what would be some challenges working in this social media industry?
Oh, how much time do you have?
Just one or two there.
Yeah, I know. There's the ones that are talked about a lot, which is like burnout, because yeah, I have the weekend off, but like stuff still needs to be posted. So it's like you got to go in and post some things, and then it's like the accounts are kind of my baby. Like it's like our whole team feels that way. So it's like you're kind of always keeping a pulse on what's going on, even on the weekends. So burnout can happen pretty quickly if you allow it. But if you set yourself up right, you can be okay. I would say other stuff is like, yeah, getting all like the hate comments sometimes. I know it's like not you personally that they're attacking, but it's like it's never fun to get people nonstop like telling you to F off every day. But I guess you kind of just get numb to those things.
When I have like a quick 5 minutes of work, I might jump on Twitter or something, have a little look what's going on. But I've done that to like escape from the world around me. How is it like for you? Are you jumping on Twitter or whatever and you're just analyzing literally every post you see still, or can you still escape it?
I don't escape it. Yeah, I'm always like, I think it's just like how my mind works. I'm always analyzing. Like even when I go outside in the world, like I watch like how like my friends scroll on TikTok. I'm analyzing like and like sometimes we'll ask, why do you like swipe so quickly, or why do you watch the whole thing? because I'm always trying to understand like why the human is like doing what they're doing. But yeah, even when I'm like escaping, I guess, to like TikTok, I'm still like I watch a video, I'm like, oh, that's funny. But instead of just like swiping down, I'm like, okay, why was that funny? And I'm always trying to like break down stuff. So I think my escape is going outside and like going on a hike, not to like other social platforms.
Well, thank you, Kevin. If you would go into this industry, would you still go into this industry knowing everything you know now?
100%. It takes a certain type of person. And I know that like I honestly think social media managers are still underpaid and overworked, to be fair, but it really does teach you like how to build a community. And once you know that, you can take like I just think that skill set is so important. It's why like creators like on YouTube and other platforms, they're community builders. And so like they understand it. And once you get it, you can take that and extrapolate it across any platform. And you can really like basically build up your own business off of that. And we're starting to see it a lot more where creators are being their own brands and they're, creating their own merchandise, they're selling their own products and relying less on brands to do that. So if you can learn how to build a community through like social media and working in it, then over time, like you see a lot of like social media managers turn into heads of like their own agency, or they start becoming a creator themselves because they realize, oh, there's so much opportunity here.
Well, Kevin, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on. And where can people find you and what you're up to?
Yeah, thanks so much. This has been really fun. And I'm pretty sure this is my first ever podcast. So
awesome.
I was excited that you guys reached out. Yeah. But you can find me at Kevin Graham Media. There's one M between the Graham and the media. But Kevin Graham Media on Twitter. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. But yeah, just shoot me a message if anyone's interested, and I'm down to chat and talk anything social. I'm kind of obsessed with it, so I love talking. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. This has been a lot of fun.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kevin.